good afternoon, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the one, the only Rum Report here on the Rumboyz Fantasy Network. I am your host for the evening. You have the boy, Rumboyz Travi. Also joined with me is my co-host representing that Rumboyz Combat Division. He's about to have some heat coming for you guys over there on rumboyz.com. Jake the Great! What's good?
Nothing much, man. Looking forward to the 9th. That's all I can say.
Is it the ninth or was it the third?
Well, there's a 9th, the 12th, and the 15th, I think.
Okay,
It's
it's
just,
ninth.
yeah, it's
It's ninth.
um, Saturday, Wednesday, Saturday. 36 fights in a week, basically. What was that the way hoping for?
Dude, can't wait. I love it. I love it. By the way, check out the freaking Jay and
I know.
Silent Bob background. Drink your fierce. Drink your fierce. I love this. I love this background. We got a jam-packed show for you guys. We have former NFL veterans making predictions on current players. We have once again an amazing documentary that ESPN is putting on with The Last Dance. I may or may not have the exclusive remaining episodes of The Last Dance. Shout out to my source. um, but yeah, so I haven't decided if I'm gonna watch ahead, but we'll talk about that later in the show. Um, we got some fantasy football updates. We got NFL draft grades from the AFC South that just dropped on rumboyz.com. We got a whole lot to talk about. But before we get into the show, cheers to me, cheers to you, all the rum boys and girls want to do. Dilly dilly. Woo! Jake already pouring another one over there. My gosh. He's a madman, I tell you, a madman.
Let it air out a little bit.
Yeah. So the first topic that we're actually going to start off, we're going to open today's Rum Report up with a ray of sunshine. The NHL season is looking to return by summer, possibly July timeframe, to hold its playoff and Stanley Cup finals. Should the NHL pursue a startup considering the revenue at stake if health officials give the green light?
Well,
And I
they're
just realized I
certainly
fucked
going
up.
to. They're certainly going to. I mean, I don't see a reason they shouldn't either. If you're given the green light, it's not like you're responsible if something happens, right? You got the government allowing this to happen is like its commission for that sport. So I would say make the money. If something does happen, guess what? They could say we were cleared by our state to do it. So that's the result. We followed the rules. It didn't work out. Our bad, but we don't know if we can get through the whole playoffs. But we'll take a few games. We'll take the TV money and
So
play
real
as
quick,
long as you can.
I didn't mess up here, and I didn't start up our Spotify, and Anchor and Apple and all that, all of our other audio podcasts. So I just now turned that on. So all of you guys coming into the show, cheers to me, cheers to you, all the wrong boys and girls. What to do? Thank you for all of you guys that listen on those platforms. Make sure you guys leave those 5-star reviews for us. The topic was, should the NHL open up their season around July timeframe, August timeframe, host their playoffs, their Stanley Cups, cup playoffs, given the revenue at stake? Jake, you said absolutely, especially if the government's going to green light.
Oh, for sure, you have to because you don't know how long this will last. If something happens, it's not on the league. It's going to be regulated heavily. I don't see an issue with them doing this and taking that low chance, really, that it's going to hit them later. And because this is the government saying it's okay. This is not the league breaking a rule. This is not Dana White's Fight Island going on tribal ground. It's literally they said you could do it, follow the rules, and if something happens and they're not broken, you're not accountable for it. We cleared you as a state to do this. So I don't see why you wouldn't do it.
So my drink just went down the wrong pipe there. Holy shit, I almost died. I appreciate you for being professional and running your take that whole time. Fuck,
Yeah, I noticed it.
my eyes are red right now. Um, so no, what I was gonna what I want to say is about almost roughly 5 million at stake per game for them for the NHL. The NHL is very different from other sports due to the fact that one, it's got to get cleared not only in the U.S., it's got to get cleared in Canada as well. Oh Canada, oh Canada. So there's that. And with that being said, and with that being stated, with the money involved, with the revenue involved, I've also heard a lot of NHL fans themselves say that, hey, a lot of these rings and a lot of these arenas have moved the ice out of the ring. So how are they going to be able to put it back in? Um, so there's that as well. Um, I personally absolutely feel that there does need to be a Stanley Cup playoffs, and I'm not just saying that because I'm a Washington Capitals fan. I want us to go to secure that second uh, that second Stanley Cup in what 5 year span, 10 year span. So I'm working with that, being that we just recently are coming off of one. But I mean, aside from it, we need some damn sports back. And this little light of mine, I'm gonna let it shine. We need sports back, and I don't care if it's even hockey. And honestly, I don't even care if it's the next sport that we're actually going to talk about. Continuing with our Ray of Sunshine segment, MLB discussing a plan or plans in hopes of starting a season in late June. Um, planning, playing in revamped 10-team divisions in home stadiums, but without fans. So interested to see how they would do a 10-team division. Um, make it to where I guess they would have like neutral site games. Um, I'm not sure.
I hate
I
this.
thought about some of those.
You're changing the game. How do you playoffs? How do you choose playoffs for 1 year? This title will never count. Yeah, I hate this idea. If you're gonna play the season, keep the divisions. I don't care how you do it. Have a neutral site.
I don't feel like you need to. I don't feel like by the season getting shortened from 182 games to what 108,
It's
162.
162, but
If we go to
their
a,
issue is the travel. They don't want to have the players moving around. Well, I was like, you could have division without travel. Figure it out. Do not do a tainted title with this 10-team division thing.
do a, I mean, mutual sites,
Yeah,
mutual sites.
I don't see
Fucking
how this would work. I don't see any team
baseball
agreeing
doesn't,
to this either.
like people aren't packing baseball stadiums anyway, so they could fucking go play in Montana for all the hell I care. As long as we're still getting televised, some type of televised sports that I can, bring back the play-by-play for everyone.
Give
Um,
Nebraska some pro sports for a year.
yeah, Nebraska.
New Mexico
Oh,
or
that's it.
something. Like, go to a place where there's no pro sports teams and just give people something to root for, even if they're not in the stands for some of the season.
There we go.
I mean,
There we go.
but
I
yeah,
think
a 10-team division, it's like, oh, well, you won it when there was like 3 wild cards because the playoffs are all messed up. And you only have 3 divisions. Like, that's not a real title. How do you match the schedule to play every team equally in that um, AL versus NL debate? I don't think it can't work. And there's no way a team would really agree to it. I don't think at this point.
I feel like this is completely different than the NFL draft going virtual, where we were all like, oh, like this actually isn't that bad. Like, no, like baseball already it's kind of fucking boring as is in many ways. In certain ways, it's not that it's boring; it's just that it's a slow sport. So taking it to a place where maybe there's not a whole lot of coronavirus cases because there's not a whole big ass population, and they're in the first day in place. And if you're gonna do it without fans, I mean, then fine. Like, I mean, I'm trying to think of the positive. Just make sure that it's televised, I guess.
Yeah. baseball's the one sport when you're at a game you don't want someone to sit next to you. You're just like my spot for my drink. Here's my cocktail. This is my little place to put my foot over. I'm gonna put my foot over this seat. Have two seats here. My friend's gonna sit right here, and we're gonna take four seats over and lay back. Like you don't want people around you,
Bro,
anyways.
baseball is one of those games where if you go to a game live, like I mean, of course, unless like depending on what stadium it is,
You can't do
um,
that.
yeah, but you can do that. So I don't know. I'd like for us to just get some type of sports.
But
Like I
make it a
said,
season. Don't make it a weird divisional change for 1 year where everyone's confused.
yeah,
And
no,
you're
no,
changing the game at that point. It'd just be a weird.
don't overcomplicate it, man, Fred. Don't overcomplicate it. Let's see what we got here next up. So this is actually getting into your division. All right. Notice, guys, we'll put some of the other things first this time. You know,
I understand.
um,
I understand.
Dana White officially has set Fight Island in motion and UFC 249 in place from what has been released in the early card. And there has been a lot of talk around this and a lot of controversy so far surrounding this. JT versus Ferguson is on. That should be happening May 9th, you had mentioned. Uh, First off, I mean, who you got? I mean, let's just kind of chop it up around this more so before getting into to who do you have in this fight.
I have Ferguson second, late second to early third stoppage.
I could see that. I could see that.
The thing with Justin is he wins in the first round or early second round. Also, he can wrestle. But he doesn't wrestle, and I don't know if he's comfortable doing it in MMA. I know for a fact Ferguson is quicker, more athletic and agile than Gaethje, and at this point, he's already made the weight. He did a test cut. He hit 155 2 weeks ago. Gained some back. He cut it back down. So I think that this is a really bad fight for Gaethje to take. I'm shocked he did, honestly. But he took it on 2 weeks. He might as well not back out and take it on 4 weeks, right? So I'm glad he's doing it, but I don't think this is a good fight for him. I think he has a better chance against Khabib than Tony, honestly.
You know, Either way, I feel like Gaethje just wants a shot. He just
Yes,
wants a shot, and he just wants
100%.
to go out there and he wants to prove himself.
Only way he gets a guaranteed title shot is if he wins this fight, and he knows that.
I've always said that Gaethje has always been shortchanged. So honestly, it's kind of a blessing for him to be able to fall into the predicament to where Khabib had dropped out of the first original event. I mean, that was due to travel restrictions, so on and so forth. He's fortunate that I guess some of these things have happened because now it's going to allow people to welcome him more so into their homes if they haven't already. They're going to check out the match because it's going to be live sports. It's going to be something. And there's also this Fight Island aspect to it. So just just knowing that and knowing that as a fan, like, yo, they pretty much just fucking created real life Mortal Kombat right now.
Yeah.
Like, we have no idea where this event is even taking place. We just know a event is taking place. Like, this is some old school meets like futuristic new school real life gladiator type shit. It's an undisclosed location that no one knows about, where no one knows about, where no one's probably going to know about because Data probably has the fighters like, hey, we need to keep this hush hush so that we can keep this going. So I mean, I like it for Gaethje. It falls perfect. The storyline is great. I hope he wins, but Ferguson, easy money in the first, just lays them out.
Yeah, I didn't say that because Ferguson never beats guys in the first. He always beats them up, cuts them up, and in the second, it's a bad ending for him. But yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if that happens either. this is the worst matchup for him. That's my fear with Gaethje. Like, I'd rather take his chances against Khabib and Connor a million times over than against Ferguson. Ferguson's just a quicker fighter than he is, and
So,
also more unorthodox. So he doesn't get caught. You can catch Khabib. Ferguson does not get caught. That's a big issue where the
from
the right hand's not going to be great for Gaethje if he's throwing it wildly like he did against Barboza. It just is not going to be effective.
let me put it, and I also want to put it like this. Let's look at the possibility if Gaethje can somehow come up with the win, right? Let's say Gaethje, every fighter that steps to a cage stands a puncher's chance. Let's say that that's exactly the circumstance here, and Gaethje knocks him out with a puncher's chance, right?
The strongest punch at 155, he has too.
Exactly. So let's say that happens because, I mean, that 100% absolutely positively can happen. It's the narrative that his next fight, oh, you only got that dub because, just because of, I guess you could say, how good of a fighter you are, or that was more so just like a puncher's chance thing, or, I mean, he didn't train for this opponent is what I'm trying to say.
Right. There's going to be a puncher's chance argument, for sure.
Yeah, so does this taint Gaethje as a way? Does this put even a bigger target on his back? Because it's like, oh, dude, like, yeah, you may have knocked him out, and yeah, you did. I mean, and that was for Tony Ferguson that you knocked out, but that was fucking rough. Like, I'm worried. I'm worried for that there because Gaethje always has that dark cloud over him, and he always has that overcast over him where people find a way to hit him.
His manager causes that. His manager is the problem with that. If you're not a champion and you're managed by Aziz, you're gonna have props. I mean, this is how it works. But the issue I see that would come into that debate would be Ferguson has a full training camp and already showed he could cut the weight perfectly fine. He's had the advantage here. He's also had as much time as Gaethje to prepare for him as Gaethje has had to prepare for Ferguson. I don't think that's an advantage or disadvantage anymore. That's going to even out. If anything, he's had a longer training camp. He's had a 6-week training camp on top of a 4-week. So he stayed in shape for 10 straight weeks, which might be a peak too soon thing, and he might be on his way down. But I think at this point, you really can't take that excuse because the fighter that comes in and pulls a Michael's Bisping and knocks out Rockhold type thing, like a couple week notice,
Yep.
regardless of what happens with Rockhold's injuries, we remember him doing that. We don't remember Rockhold having a shin issue the entire time and a staph infection. We know for a fact this guy took a fight on a movie set 2 weeks notice, barely made weight, and knocked out the champion. So if Gaethje wins, you have to say he's the interim champ. I don't see any debate. And their fans will because they want to see Khabib Tony so badly. But Khabib has never lost, and Tony hasn't lost since 2011, since before women fought in the UFC.
Yeah.
So there's anytime he loses, I don't think he'd make an excuse at this point. I think Tony took this fight knowing there's a chance he can get caught, and the only way he loses is if he gets caught.
I just hope that if that does happen, okay, I'm still saying yes, you can bet the house on Ferguson. Excuse me. But if Gaethje does catch that man one time, oof.
Done. Lights.
Look for
Lights,
Ferguson. Don't expect Ferguson when he gets up off that mat. Expect Ferguson to pull a Detroit Pistons and just walk off. He ain't shaking hands because that ain't supposed to happen. And I feel like Ferguson walking into this fight is like, that's not supposed to happen to me. That's not going to happen to me. And if it does happen to him, walking out like a bunch of bitches.
Well, this is interesting. If Gaethje wins, who's the bigger heel, Khabib or Gaethje? Because Gaethje could ruin the fight that everyone wanted to see if he wins this fight. That's why everyone's picking against him because they don't want to see him win. They want to see Khabib Ferguson.
If Gaethje wins, I hate Gaethje because he does ruin Khabib Ferguson. So Ferguson has to win this so that we can, as soon as Ramadan's done, we need two things to happen for Khabib to be at peace and have no excuses to fight. We need three things to happen for Khabib to fight and have no excuses.
Bye bye coronavirus. That shit has to be gone. Okay. Ramadan is over. All right. So when Ramadan ends, Khabib completely is comfortable with coming back. Right. The third thing, Khabib is healthy, completely focused, and
And
just
gains his weight back healthily because
gains weight
he's
back
gonna cut to like 130 with this.
with the fasting. Yeah.
Yeah, so
But like he comes back, healthy, like, and I mean like spiritually, mentally, physically, like everything, like all around. And he's just not gonna back down from this, and he's gonna be like, all right, like for all of you little shits out there that want to talk shit on Khabib, I go out there and I show you when I put him in fucking chokehold, like I do Bear, like I did
you
McGregor.
missed the one word, man.
My
I
Russian is
will maul
terrible.
him. It always says that.
I
It's his
don't,
go-to
I don't,
trash talk line. I will maul you like a
I don't
bear.
want him.
I love it. He's just like everything you say. I'll maul you. No
I'll maul
chance.
you. I'll maul
It's
you like a bear. Oh my gosh.
it's it's the best comeback you could have too because he's done it 29 times. It's just like it's true. You always get people to the ground and beat them up. It doesn't matter what they try. Your approach is run at them, pressure them, take them down, and beat them up.
I love when
There's no
Khabib,
countering it.
I love when Khabib gets brought up and all the big TV talking heads, the very first thing that they all do is, here's this video of Khabib wrestling a bear. Like, that's the first thing. That's the first thing they go to. It's a great clip, though. It's pretty fun. Like,
It was a baby. Oh, what makes it worse, Pito was not happy about wrestling an innocent baby bear. But
yeah, I'm not
or a
fucking
cub, whatever.
bear.
But yeah.
For those that want to know more about that card, if you are on the Rumboyz Fantasy Network Facebook page, I have it there. I will get it tweeted out. I think I have tweeted it out. I'll get it up on Instagram as well. Ferguson versus Gaethje, UFC 249. That is also going to feature Cejudo versus Cruz, Ngannou versus Rosenstruck, Stevens versus Qatar, Hardy versus Castro, prelims, Cowboys Cerrone versus Pettis, part two. We got Olenek versus Wordham, Esparza versus Waterson, Hall versus Shikari, Luke versus Price, Mitchell versus Rosa, and Span versus Ali. So it's a stacked fucking card. Fight night, it's here. It's going to be super interesting. We're excited to call that. Let's go ahead and get into our next topic, brother. And of course, it's time for fantasy football. Fantasy football topic, and this one is actually kind of interesting here. Taysom Hill. I don't know if you heard today or if you got the notification. But
Got paid.
no, he not got paid. Well, I mean, he got paid way before. Taysom Hill, quarterback of the New Orleans Saints, will be given in fantasy football the designation as a tight end slash flex. Is this worth a stash in fantasy football? Maybe you just load him up on your bench or something like that. Like, is this worth going to get Taysom Hill?
I don't think so. He doesn't get enough touches consistently every game to have that. I'm gonna play him against this matchup. He's more of a I have a bye week. I stashed him. We'll figure this out. If he gets hot, I roll with it. I roll with him throughout the season until it's a cold spell. But he's a gadget guy, and they paid him a lot more than that. But I can't see where he'll consistently get touches, and that's an issue for me. Maybe the offense is so creative we can't predict how they're going to use him. Or, I mean, there was a guy on McAfee who literally said the best thing he does is he doesn't touch the ball much, but he's the best decoy in football because you don't know what he's going to do. But his impact, because they paid him so much, they were saying he doesn't produce. Like, yeah, he doesn't get the ball a lot, but he's such an impact on a defense because you can't match up with him. And he could take the best player on that defense in coverage away by going to a certain spot. But he might not get the ball, but his impact on that play is huge. I just don't see him getting the production. I see him helping other guys around him, but I don't see him getting 12 fantasy points more than 8 games next year.
I mean,
If he's getting wait, if an A game, if he gets 12 A game, I'm fucking stoked
One
about
game
that.
next year or average? I don't see that
Wait,
at all.
you said 12
If
in one
he
game?
gets 10 to 12 for 8 of the games next year, I'd be surprised. I don't
Bro,
think he's going to get consistent production.
for 8 games, I got double digits out of Taysom Hill.
I'd be shocked, but that'd be great.
Dude, I would fucking, like, look, Taysom, I tagged you in the Instagram post about this episode. So you knew ahead of the time, but I was going to bring you up, and I hope that you're here checking this out. Let's see. What's good? What's good, Madden on Sportscast? Thank you for joining Madden on Sportscast. Make sure you guys check out those virtual at Madden Sims on Sportscaster. Ooh, I'm gonna bring up something quite interesting when it's time to roll. When it's time to roll ad. But yeah, no, Taysom Hill, he did get paid. So one, I think they're gonna use him. Two, clearly they want to keep him because he was like, y'all are either going to keep me or I'm going to go somewhere else because I want to go and start as a quarterback. Ismail wants to be a quarterback. Now, I want to pitch this to you guys from a fantasy standpoint. When the person in real football is a quarterback, but in fantasy football, you're lining him up as a tight end, as a flex. And if he goes in and he, I don't know, runs for a touchdown, lines up, catches, a pass, I don't know, throws for a touchdown, I mean, you got a couple of different ways that you can plug this guy into your lineup. I would definitely look into the matchups. I would do a lot of research before I decide to plug and play him that week. What I would say to you is watch plenty of Rumboyz Fantasy Network during the season. Definitely check this out in season because that's when everything on this channel is just football, fantasy. Like we're just it's a big money time for us because we're trying to help you win your money, to help you secure your bags, help you secure your bets. So yeah, I mean, I say you don't necessarily have to go and draft
I
him,
would, yeah.
but do you grab him? Like if you draft him like with the very last pick, right? Like in your draft, cool. 2 QB league. Or actually, no, because he's getting the tight end flex designation. I mean, but if you're in like those super flex leagues where like they run like 2 tight ends or whatever, like fuck yeah, go for that. There's also so much value at the tight end position this year with guys like George Kittle, Ertz, fucking Kelsey, Mark Andrews, my guy, Waller. Of course, you got Waller out there. So many different tight ends. Cole Kmet going to the Bears. Noah Fant in Denver. Hayden Hurst, Atlanta. Now it's just like all starting to come to me where I'm like, fuck, who are guys that I would draft over Taysom Hill as a tight end flex?
Well, he's one
But
of those guys. He'll get about 3 touches a game, and they could all be touchdowns and trick plays. Or just gadget plays.
do you know where you?
Or he could be a decoy the entire time, never play in the red zone, never get a look, but just take that good coverage linebacker out of a play, and that's his only job. Make him cover you and let Thomas hit the slant. You're out here. This guy covers you. Thomas has a slant. He's a setup guy, or he's gonna be the main target.
Well, I feel like you could definitely use him and be like, is like DFS leagues.
Yeah.
DraftKings, FanDuel. Yeah. Well, yeah. Let me rock Taysom Hill out there. Prop bets, Fry Fantasy app.
Throw him out there. Yeah. Okay. He might explode one day for me.
Yeah.
Or I spent all my money somewhere else. This guy's only like 1,000, 1,200 lower than the other tight end below him. I mean, he could blow up for 17 points. Yeah. Well, go for it. Why not?
So I mean, hey. When there's a will, there's a way. There's a reason why he got that designation. There's a reason why, especially all the main media fantasy football outlets, Matthew Berry and them, they were all ecstatic about this. Bill Gates lost his mind this morning on Twitter about it. He was like, yes, like, this is gonna be awesome. So I mean, I'm excited. There's something I want to shout out. There's something I want to take a second here, really quick, to shout out. and that is Ball Street Trading. Ball Street Trading is an app, real time in play contests, free to play cash prizes. You can check them out on Twitter at Ball Street App. They are doing they're doing some partnerships right now with our partners over at Sportscaster. All right, our family over at Sportscaster. And one of the things that we recently just did, we did a Madden simulation um, type of, I guess you could say, I don't want to say like fantasy, but like prop bets. I'm gonna have to look more into it for sure. For sure, I'm going to be downloading the app. Um, but you can win money on the the Madden tournaments that are happening over on Sportscaster, those Madden simulations, and it's computer versus computer, so it's not person versus person. So you're not having to worry about like, oh, the game was rigged. Like, nah, dude, like it's the sim. There's nothing we can do. It's not our fault. Richard Sherman caught 2 picks. Like, but definitely check out Ball Street Trading. I'm trying to learn more about it and work with them more. As long as Sportscaster's going to be working with them, I'm gonna be voucher for them. And yeah, I think it's pretty dope. I think it's pretty dope. Go ahead and get out there, win your cash, Ball Street app. Check out Thrive Fantasy app as well for all your prop betting needs. They actually got a lot of League of Legends props up, a lot of esports props, and things of that nature up as well. Let's go ahead, dive into next topic, bro. So did you hear about Rashad Breeland, Jake?
Yeah. Yeah.
Bro, all right. So for those that don't know, Chiefs Super Bowl winning cornerback who did not do shit for my Washington Redskins when he was there because he was trash. But Chiefs Super Bowl winning cornerback Rashad Breeland arrested in South Carolina on multiple charges, 5 counts. Now, here's the counts though: resisting arrest. It's, I'm not surprised about that one. Like it's 2020, he's Super Bowl winning corner. Like they're gonna. The second he says like, "Why are you pulling a gun on me? Stop resisting! So of course, I mean he's a corner. He's fucking huge. They're gonna hit him with that one. Um, that's that's one thing. Um, the transport of alcohol in a motor vehicle with a broken seal. I'm gonna debunk that one with the letter
Open
from.
bottle. It's an open bottle.
Yeah, they're trying to charge him with open container, but I'm gonna debunk that one. Um, with the letter from his lawyers that I have obtained. Cha-ching, because I like getting close to a story. Open container of beer or wine in motor vehicle. So they took the open bottle charges, broke it up into 2 fancy ass fucking words, and are like, you were drinking. They couldn't prove that he was drinking while driving. That's also step one. Um, Possession of 28 grams or less of marijuana or 10 grams of hash. So, in other words, they didn't actually test it, they didn't actually weigh it, and he definitely had underneath an ounce, which is a misdemeanor. He's A-OK. This doesn't mean something that you guys should do, but you're fine. In the state of Colorado, I get pulled over, and if I have an ounce in the car because it's legal here, nothing happens to me whatsoever. I wouldn't even be dealing with this shit, so I'm gonna have a nice little rant. And then finally, driving without a license. Big deal, little deal, or no deal. Triple M74, welcome to Sportscaster. Thank you for joining me.
It's a very dumb thing to do. The suspended license, or I don't know if he ever had a license to begin with, but that, regardless, he drove without a license and had a mobile home. I don't know how that works. But overall, it's just bad decision making. And when you see someone's driving this and the person registered doesn't have a license active, I don't think it's a good idea to take a mobile home. So it definitely shows an issue in his decision making, and that's undebatable. But the charges themselves, I mean, college athletes, one specifically from here, was caught driving without a license like 9 times in 2 years, and he was given like $1,000 fine. So
Yeah.
it wasn't that big of a deal, but it's just a really bad decision. I don't understand how you think you're getting away with driving with a suspended license when you get into
So,
a mobile home. They scan it, be like, this guy can't drive legally. Like, what's he doing? And you have illegal substance on you.
I don't think it
Huh?
was a mobile home, was it?
Okay, I thought you said it was a RV or something, but
No, it wasn't a
uh,
mobile home. No, he was.
regardless, it's
Yeah,
just
he was put over in his car. So like, all right. So per his legal representation. Let me go ahead and get this document.
yes. I want to know if his license was expired or he actually had a suspended license due to a past offense.
Give me just one.
Because that's a big determinant factor in this. If he had a suspended license, I don't know why he was driving with that in his car. It's just
So
common
this is
sense.
from the Storm Law Firm LLC. Um, out of let's see, whoa, Beltline, South Carolina, or Columbia, South Carolina. Um, our firm represents Rashad Breland in misdemeanor charges currently pending in York County, South Carolina. We look forward to reviewing available evidence in this matter, including the arresting officer's body-worn camera footage, dash camera footage, and surveillance footage from the gas station where the incident is alleged to have occurred. Mr. Breland is facing only misdemeanor charges in connection with this incident. None of the crimes alleged that Mr. Breland was consuming are none of the crimes alleged that Mr. Breland was consuming alcohol at the time of the arrest. So in other words, when they took his BAC, he had nothing in his fucking system. He was not drinking. Um, at the time of the encounter with law enforcement, Mr. Breland was leaving a gas station or a gas station store after making a lawful purchase. Container is still sealed. Moments after returning to his vehicle, a 2020 Range Rover with valid temporary paper tags, law enforcement officials approached Mr. Breland and drew their weapons. We look forward to investigating why this level of force was necessary. Rashad Breland is innocent unless proven guilty. We look forward to the truth coming out further. Neither Mr. Breland nor his representatives will provide any further statements or comments until the conclusion of this matter. And that comes from lawyers Jay Preston Storm Jr. and Bakari T. Sellers.
Okay, so there was probably no. I don't have the footage. There's probably no need to pull a gun, and it was probably not smart for him to drive without a license. I mean, that's what I'm taking from it. I want to see the footage before I see what the cops did. If it was actually what the lawyer said. But don't drive without a license. I think I could have avoided a lot of this.
Newly purchased. The Range Rover, the 2020 Range Rover was newly purchased. So what I'm thinking is, because this happened to my wife once, where we were actually getting ready to purchase a brand new vehicle, and she had left her license at the dealership, but we didn't get pulled over or anything. But we went back. We had to go back to the dealership. Like, hey, we actually left it, with the paperwork and everything. Like, oh shit, like we're sorry. Here you go. And dealerships often do that a lot of times, like make you come back, and like buy some shit. Now this might have just been an accident because, like I said, like he had just bought this 2020 fucking Range Rover. Like these just released not long ago. Like these were released like around towards the end of 2019. Like summer 2019, like August 2019 is when these ranges released. So there's that with the range. What I'm thinking is, and this is also South Carolina, you are walking out of the gas station. Per the report, you're walking out of the gas station. And every report I read, he was exiting the gas station and met force. when he was opening the doors. So what I'm thinking is one of the weed charges are going to get dropped
Yeah.
because fucking it's underneath an ounce. What are you going to convict him with? You have nothing there. It's a plant. So there's that, and it's practically legal everywhere, just about now. So that's step one. Step two, that open container, he wasn't even in the vehicle. Step one, did he walk out the store and then open it and then take a sip and was like, oh shit, why are there cops surrounding my vehicle? I mean, this is South Carolina. Like they see a 2020 Range Rover in South Carolina, and God knows where. Well, I mean, in Columbia, it sounds like they're gonna pull up and they're gonna be like, "What are you doing here, boy?"
Yeah. I think this is something we have to wait and see the real footage. I don't know. I trust him right now because innocent until proven guilty. I want to see the footage. And if the lawyer's saying release it, the lawyer's probably correct in his assessment. I don't think I can make a clear judgment and say he's 1,000,000% innocent. I'm leaning towards he did nothing wrong minus having things that'll get dropped later with him when he should have. But yeah, I want to see the footage. That's what it's coming down to me. Likely they did something wrong though. Not gonna lie.
Yeah.
But I don't want to say the cops did something wrong until I see exactly what happened.
Bro, his lawyers though, his legal team sounds like some fucking pit bulls. We look forward to getting ready to shit on you and prove you wrong.
Well, those lawyers though, man, they have these statements like pre-written to use strong language without really targeting a direct officer or insulting them. They know how to word things to make it sound like these people are awful human beings. Then you see, oh, maybe it wasn't as bad,
I mean, I've read some statements before, in my time, but the way that one came off, like when I first read it, I was like, oh shit, they screwed up. Like they clearly made it known that we're coming for you. We're gonna hunt you down, and you're not gonna like it, South Carolina, wherever York County Police Department. This sounds like York County Police Department. You might want to back off and let Rashad Breeland free. That's just my thoughts. Like, this isn't like the Cleveland Browns player that fucking got caught with 147 pounds of the Mary Jane. Like, that's not. This is so far from that.
Like, yeah, it looks like he'll get out of this with a simple. He probably had the hash. I mean,
yeah, they were like we could. Wait, hold on.
That's probably the one thing he'll get hit with, and everything else. I think it'll be this is a dumb decision, dude. Regardless, if your license was properly registered, this wouldn't have happened to you. They were probably just as wrong as you with how they reacted. It was probably avoidable if your license was registered to your vehicle. It could be the dealership for all we know too.
It really sounds like it's not on him. It doesn't sound like he did not have a license. It sounds like it just was not on him at the given moment.
Then that's all different. Yeah, you can look that up if you really care to. You get to return it later. You have to just go back to the police station later and give him your license.
And that's what it sounds. It sounds like they charged him without having it on him. Because that's the loophole. Everything that they charged him with is literally a fucking. It all sounds like loopholes that they're just fucking with him. Like,
yeah, well, I mean, I've had a ticket and then a ticket for not having my license, and I was given a ticket till I show my license. They're like, if you don't show it in this time period, you're gonna get another one.
Yeah,
show it to us.
Because they don't want to. They're not going to follow you home and make you go. Have you go upstairs and go get it. Like, like I've ran out to the store, not had it on me, and they're like, "Yo, show up to court this day, show us that you have it." Like, man, fuck! Like, I don't want to do that because now I got to take off from work. Like, and now I'm like, this sucks. I left it at fucking home. Like I've had that fucking happen to me. Because you that is something that you are legally supposed to carry with you everywhere you go. You are legally supposed to have that on you are supposed to have some form of identification.
We'll see what the footage says. It looks like the police were in the wrong here.
Oh yeah, I can't wait to see how his lawyer.
I'm not going to say 100% yet, but it looks like they were in the wrong, and I'm probably taking his side for now. But
what What it sounds
We'll
like to
find
me,
out later.
what it sounds like to me, this is the last thing I'm gonna say about it. This sounds like a regular ass Tuesday for me personally. Like, for, yo, I just bought some bud. We got it sitting in the dashboard. I'm riding around listening. I don't know. I made guys like some Tupac on at the moment. Like, some me against the world. I'm just driving. I just left the liquor store. And I'm on my way back to my house. Like, and I'm just at the wrong place at the wrong time. And the Jump Out boys come and see me. They come and pay me a visit. It happens. It happens. And I think that was just it. It was just the wrong place, wrong time. Rashad Breeling, move out of
Yeah, I
South
think
Carolina.
this will. I hope it makes him look good. I mean, his lawyer demanded the unredacted camera footage. I hope it looks good for him.
Nothing's gonna happen to him in
I'm
next month.
98% sure his lawyer is correct. Innocent until proven guilty. I want to see the tape before I have a final conclusion. That's
Yeah.
all. I mean,
I mean, on top of that, I mean, personally, like when your lawyers are coming out and they're submitting that statement publicly, you're good. I don't think the NFL is going to take any action. I think he's good. The new CBA's in effect. It's like, bro, I can have this. What are you talking about? Like,
yeah.
so
Well, I always used to say, like, if the lawyer's that adamant about it, and then you saw, I remember the Michael Bennett one where he's like, 3 white officers arrested me when they weren't actually white. And it's like, dude, your story fell apart right here.
yeah,
He said, I mean, your lawyer was probably not good at having this forced release because
no,
that really helped them.
yeah, they did. They Rashad Breeland's camp. They've been super, on the right side about this. Nothing about it is about race or anything here. I mean, they're pursuing it normally. They're doing it the right way. I really like this legal team. I'm fans of the Storm firm, Storm Law firm. Go do your things, guys. We're big shout out for the Rumboyz all the way out here.
The one time I've seen show the footage backfire was Bennett. You were arrested by 2 Mexican and a black guy. This is not an assault, man. And it's like, dude, your case kind of fell apart here. The NFL kind of is like, dude, Seattle's like, we're done with this. We can't deal with this drama all year.
Well, this does segue perfectly into the next topic, though. Ready to take a big, deep breath of, oh, God. Holy. He's like, yeah, I'm taking a shot.
No, just a little bit, man. Nah.
Yo, I'll take a little one with you, too, because for this topic, this was a little bit weird to me because I feel like 2 separate sides. Cheers. All right. So you heard about the new Patriots kicker, right? Justin Rohrwasser?
West Virginia dude, right? Marshall or whatever.
Marshall, yeah. So Justin
He called onto the
Rohrwasser,
Pat McAfee show too.
he did.
Yes, he was. He and Pat were boys for a minute.
I don't know if they're gonna be boys after this.
Yes.
Much longer.
Yes.
So Patriots drafted a new kicker in the draft, and they're already dealing with some controversy for this. The kicker is dealing with some controversy for this. Justin Rohrwasser has a 3%er tattoo on his right forearm. Now, Rohrwasser has vowed to have removed, or he has vowed that he will remove the tattoo. And that this was a mistake that he had made when he was younger. Should the Patriots distance themselves from the kicker or keep him?
I think at this point, if it was not a kicker, it was instant. Let him get his redemption story. Made a mistake, bro. We understand. You're in a league that you have to deal with this. What you're gonna be going through in this locker room will be way worse than if we cut you at times. But
He's
deal
gonna
with it.
up in that locker room.
But he's a kicker, dude, and the Patriots will probably cut him because he's a kicker. And he's a
Yeah,
rookie.
I think he's going to get cut regardless.
Right.
Yeah.
That's the problem. He's a late round pick, relatively compared to guys who will get the job.
GMM says you can remove the tattoo, but the mindset will remain.
But yeah, this is similar to the not exactly, but to the Josh Allen thing or the DiVincenzo thing, where DiVincenzo was much worse, but they're important players on a good team, and they have more impact on a game. So you'll forgive that. You're a kicker, dude. Like you're getting cut. In my opinion, I don't see how you keep them.
So with this, I want to use this as an example, especially like younger viewers. This is 2020, and this is the social media era, where everything that you post on Twitter, everything that you post on Instagram, everything that you post on Facebook, once you post it, once you say it, that shit's out there. Like, even if you delete it, there's a way that you can still find that shit and dig it up on the internet.
Yeah, and this dude went to the combine. Am I wrong?
Yeah.
So he literally walked up on the scale in a speedo, and right, like they all do, and you didn't notice this on his arm. This is my question here. I was like, wait a minute, how? This dude literally walked on his scale in his underwear in front of 10 million viewers, and nobody pointed this out right there.
See,
how did it get this far?
And here's another issue that I have with it too. It would be the Patriots of all organizations that would go and try and look past like that character. You know, it would, if there is going to be an organization, it'll be the fucking Patriots in this present day. Like back in the day, it used to be the Raiders, and the Raiders would be like, "Oh, you got a felony? Come here." You know, Dallas Cowboys felony, get over here. Patriots, they love that controversy. You know, oh yeah, we cheated. Oh, our guys up in the fucking Bengals film room filming it. Like
with an Xbox controller.
They love this shit. They love this shit. You know, so him going to the Patriots, that's the destination that he went to. That doesn't surprise me. When you got the fucking McCourty twins in that same locker room that have no problems knocking someone out, that's a problem.
Yeah.
Because now you're as the NFL organization is much different than, and this is why I said I feel one of two ways about it. The NFL is much different than my experience in the United States military, but one and the same. Very structured places, very, very structured places. Everyone from all around America and now because of the international program, all around the world are all in a locker room together. It's a camaraderie thing. So there's that. But you also have to remember that with that comes not everyone knows how everyone is and how everyone reacts. Really quick story time, boys and girls. I was stationed with a guy. This dude's name, I cannot remember his fucking first name for I want to say like Donald McCorkle. McCorkle was from the fucking swamps, goddamn down there in Florida. And he literally talked like that, and he talked just like this. He had the most fucking swamp-ass Florida accent that I've ever heard in my life.
He has like the swamp people accent?
Yeah, bro. Like he talks like that. Like, you know, and he would even do that thing like, And like this dude had no problem stealing the drill sergeant's bottles, old dip bottles. So he would take that dip because like he would take their fucking dips that they would spit out and like, dude, most country motherfucker that I've ever met in my life. Most redneck shit. We had three people in our out of 40 some odd airmen in between Bay A and Bay B. Only 3 of them were African American. When I shit you not, the very first words that this dude said to me, we're saying locker to locker. He hasn't even met the other fucking 2 black dudes over in Bay A. I'm over in Bay B. And we're bunk to bunk. The very first thing that this dude says to me, he goes, like the drill sergeant leaves, he's over in Bay B, and he actually gets us in trouble. He goes, "Hey, you're the darkest." He's like, "You're the darkest nigger that I've ever seen in my life ever, besides on TV. This is pretty weird." And because I'm saying at attention, I can't even be like, "The fuck did you just say?" Like, soon as drill started coming, who's making noise? Da, 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 fucking getting in our faces. I'm just sitting thinking to myself, like, what the fuck did he just say to me? And that's real. There are people that have grown up a certain way and have been brought up a certain way and have never seen anything different, like in real life. And bro, this was like fucking 2009, like 2010. Like, I'm like, how the fuck? I'm like, how have you gone your whole life without ever meeting a black person up close? Like, not even in a Walmart, motherfucker. Like, you ain't never seen us working cashier. He's like, no. Like, the more I got to know this dude, the more that statement was actually really true. He literally told me and I was like, you think I'm the darkest dude? Wait till you go meet Mgagwe over in Bay A. And Mgagwe was this fucking 6'5" black dude from Africa. Motherfucker was huge. Listen, people. Word washer. I get that you may have done something when you're stupid, but like, you're going to be made an example of, you know?
Ironically, he's in New York, which makes it even weirder that he did that.
So now that just means that he's just hanging out with Aryan Nation people, like, you know.
That means he's
I officially don't like this dude. Word washer, get the hell out of my NFL. We don't have time for people beating your ass in the locker room, because I have a feeling that you're going to get whooped in that locker room. Like, I used to live in Cali, bro, and in Cali they have like wars in as Bogart would say, the underworld, and like, he's gonna get beat up for that. Like that McCorkle dude. Like to wrap up that story, that McCorkle dude got beat up a lot. We eventually end up sticking up for him because it's like, hey, just so you know, you can't just say shit. Well, I don't know what you mean. Come to find out, he ended up eventually having jungle fever, settling down, and marrying a black girl. Got her name tattooed on his ass.
How didn't you notice that? At the weigh-ins, man. I'm looking at it. That is the most obvious spot you're gonna look for a tattoo.
Bro, he put it right on his right forearm, like right there, and it's like big too.
Yeah. Again, if it was like the whole, it's the same thing. Like if he was in the, again, Josh Allen obviously had a different situation, very bad comment as well, but he's a quarterback. He wins a game. Hey, whatever, man. I never have to talk to this quarterback. It's cool. You're a kicker, dude. You cannot get away with this, and that's one thing. Your position says you cannot get away with this.
This is way worse. Like, it's like, bro, this is tatted on you. Like, this is tatted on you. Like, when you have something tatted on you, like, that's your belief system. That's how you really feel. Like, you know, like, if someone has beef with you, if someone has a problem with you, that's who you're telling to pull up. You know,
the fact that you have this in, that's Western New York. I looked at it in a Rust Belt area. Kind of shows you were with some people that were in the minority of your opinion. Yeah, like, you were chilling with some dudes like around here. You could probably find people like that, but most people aren't like that, man. Like, trust me, Rust Belt area. That's where I live.
We have weirdos in high school, and they used to, you know, come to school, and they would, the books that they would get from the library would be some of the scariest shit. You'd be like, yo, like, why do you care about like that Nazi shit so much? Like, why are you acting like that? You know? And like, them kids couldn't explain. Like, so I understand, because like, I went to school growing up in Virginia. I went to school with, you know, kids that legitimately thought like this fucked up, corrupt shit in their minds. You know, like, there's no difference in any human being. There's no difference. You know, like, once a tattoo is something special. Like, once you tattoo something on you, like, that's a part of you. Like, yes, you can get it removed. You know, like, my grandfather's tatted on me, bro. Like, that's special. That's it means something. That meant something to you. Like, that's, anyone that gets tattoos or has tattoos is gonna tell you that.
How do you make it 4 years at Marshall?
Dude, I don't know. Like, that's fucking crazy. Like, how did you make it 4 years at Marshall, bro?
That's amazing.
Like nobody whooped your ass. Like me personally, like it was the first thing that it was when I saw his Instagram, that was the first thing I noticed. And he took down all of his social media, by the way. He took down all of his social media.
Oh yeah, yeah.
He's not posting anything until he has this removed. He has stated, I'm done bagging and ragging on this kid. I
I
mean,
do
dude,
think he'll play in the NFL though. I think he'll get some forgiveness. I don't think it'll. I think he'll have to get cut and work his way back up. But yeah, I think he'll have to really get back into the league his own way.
that's yeah. It's gonna be so hard, but I mean, don't do stupid shit when you're young. Like he's probably wearing one of those one of those copper sleeves
I
on
looked
his.
it up, man. He did not wear sleeves in college, so I mean, his teammates obviously saw it. Just one of those things, I guess.
Dude, it's completely mind blowing how he got away with it for so long. But that also just shows you like the state of America that we're in, too. Um, but yeah, kids, don't do stupid shit when you're just because you're young. Don't say stupid things. Like if you have to think about before pressing send, don't type it. Don't go and get. This is a bigger lesson about tattoos. Don't go get stupid shit tatted on you. Like real. It's 2020. Real gangsters don't walk around and brag about who they are. Real G's don't walk around showing all that shit anymore. Like that. That was for all the dummies, growing up like back in like the 80s and the 90s. This is the 2000s. This is 2020 now. Like we need to be on some more positivity. I have nothing against tattoos. I have a tattoo. I'm getting more tattoos. I have nothing against tattoos. It's a form of art. It's a form of expression. But don't get anything stupid or gang affiliated tatted on you. Never, ever, 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 ever.
Yeah, it's
Period.
he'll get the treatment of you're banned for a year basically, and probably quietly get back in when it's forgotten
It's
about.
people that get tattoos like that. It's people that get tattoos like that ruin it for the people that we appreciate the art of tattoos. So that where people that don't believe in tattoos and people that don't have tattoos look at people that do have tattoos, they're like, "You're a scumbag," da 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 da, and it's like, no, like I'm expressing myself, like. So yeah, we're gonna get into the next topic. Art's art, creativity's creativity. The New Orleans Saints got their backup, famous Jameis. He signs a $1.1 million deal for 1 year. How does this affect Taysom Hill, who we spoke about earlier? How does this affect Jameis?
Well, for Jameis, I don't think it is
That's
good
no,
that ideally he stays healthy. And Drew Brees, right? And you don't have to see Jameis Winston on the field. But I mean, at this point, he's hoping for a good word from the coach to get him a starting job somewhere, or at least a better chance to get the job that last year. I don't see Jameis as a guy they want to replace Drew Brees. I think they're drafting somebody next year. For Taysom Hill, I think he's a gadget guy still. I mean, he'll find a way to get in the field. I don't think he'll be throwing the ball more than maybe once a game. I'd be shocked if he has 25 pass attempts next year, to be honest. He does, yes, a lot.
So Jameis Winston has 10 more passes to the Saints than Taysom Hill. 10-7 is what that exact stat is.
Yeah, so I don't think this affects Taysom at all. Ideally, if you're going to have Drew Brees in the field, it'll be him throwing the ball. For Winston, I think he's really is he hoping for Brees to get hurt and he lights it up? Probably. But I think more reasonably, he's just hoping he gets a shot. I think that's his idea. Like, give me a shot for like 1 week, prove it, and let me get that maybe 1 year, $8 million deal to try to compete for a starting job at a worse team that doesn't have a rookie quarterback under contract. And let me just, in 2 years, let me get that contract I want. But I think this is really just going to be hopefully James is a backup and Taysom Hill does his thing. I don't see a huge change unless Breeze gets hurt.
Yeah, I, they just love Taysom so much, and they already have him built into the scheme. And I'm sure that they have him more prepared and further along to take over for Breeze than Jameis. This gives Jameis an opportunity to learn from Breeze. If Jameis goes out there and shows something really promising on the practice field and shows that he's truly better than what they developed Taysom, then absolutely sure. Then he becomes the guy that'll take over the franchise when Drew Brees goes ahead and retires. Um, yes, J Love. Yes, that's a real stat. Um,
I mean, the dude. I mean, Taysom Hill doesn't throw much, man. It's a trick play. He has an arm, and he threw it deep in the playoffs, but he's not good to throw the ball. That's why I don't think he's a quarterback. But hey, man, he's getting some quarterback money, so
exactly.
good for
Yeah.
him. Regardless if he is, man, he's getting paid like one. Who cares?
So I mean, I feel like the way that the Saints have structured the money between these guys and Drew Brees kind of let it be known that this is going to be the last dance for him.
That's 2 years, yeah.
Um,
Then he's going to NBC to make more money right away.
yeah, he's already got the NBC.
Everyone should hire his agent if they have like an extra $6 million on the side. By the way, like any rich dude,
Yo, his
negotiate a contract when you retire from your current job. It works pretty well.
Yeah, his agent is pretty fucking badass. Actually, I mean, yeah, you're right. We're gonna just get you right as soon as you're done with the NFL. You're right on TV, dude. You don't even gotta worry about it. It's not fucking audition. You're good, bro. Like that's pretty badass. And he's gonna be making millions in the booth. So I mean, I think that this could be Breeze's last year. Honestly, no matter how it goes.
Is next year a team option? I don't know if he has 2 years guaranteed, but
I
it's 2 years, 25 mil per year.
on Instagram a couple months ago, it was like, "Hey guys, like let's do this one more go around."
Yeah.
You know, let's go to MD's fantasy
I
football.
think he just wants a year to play, and I think he wants to play Brady twice. I think that's his real. He wants to play Brady twice for at least 1 year of his career. I think that's his goal to try to go 2-0 against Brady in one season.
I don't think anybody wants to do that, but okay.
I mean,
I don't
he's a
think anybody
competitor,
wants to
dude.
do that.
He wants to show he's a top quarterback in that division.
He is the top quarterback in that division.
Well, is he still? It's a debate, right? Now it's
Dang,
questionable.
it's a debate. We'll save that one for
So,
Rumboyz on Fridays night.
I think he wants it, man. I think he wants to say, I can beat Brady twice and walk away and then call Brady's games the next year.
Well, we'll save that for Rumboyz after dark. We'll save that for Rumboyz after dark.
It's a great. Oh, that's gonna be fun lead up, dude. Calling a Brady versus Breeze game.
Yeah, we're just we're gonna let that one. We're not even gonna talk about that too much more on this show. Yeah, I mean Winston. In terms of Winston, it's awesome. You get to learn from Breeze. Congrats. Take advantage of it, dude. Take advantage of it. Soak up as much as you can. Don't necessarily worry about getting on the field or harp on getting on the field. I feel like the Saints, they can honestly just let that offense rock. Chad Shavara, he said Lincoln needs on the podcast.
That's the cat. Yeah, that's my coworker, dude.
Word. That's what's up. So your coworker subscribe, Chaz. Hit that subscribe button, dude. We actually are about to get into shot time. Commissioner Roger Goodell volunteered to reduce his salary to $0 last month. Again, $0 last month. Thoughts on the commissioner now?
Yeah. I saw his basement, man. If he took a salary after what he showed off his little area, his little chill area, might be criminal. Like after seeing that dude's house, you think he needs a salary this year? I think it's safe to say it's probably a good move.
Hey, there's that. Because like, yo, when you own a fucking $1 billion business, like do you really need to afford to get paid for a
He
month?
owns
Like,
a suede chair.
yeah. I mean, now I'll give him this. Like, so first off, the basement that he was doing the NFL draft from looks like some typical old people basement shit. So that's first off. Like,
Then he said he had like I had to set up like my 17 screens. I'm like, oh, that's tough problems, man. Rough days.
shit.
I have to set up more TVs in my house. This is
Bro,
so difficult. Oh, great. Like,
why did he put M&Ms in a fucking bucket and shake? Like, you couldn't come up like your maid didn't have fucking maracas laying around. Like, what the fuck,
that
bro?
dude needed a cigar and a scotch when he was like sitting cross-legged talking to Trey Winga. Like,
Yeah, bro.
I commented that too, like in the chat. I was like, this dude needs to like do like the most interesting man in the world skit right now. Like, it is so perfect for him.
Do you think that that's how Roger Goodell stays lit? I'm not gonna
I
buy it.
love when he said, "Oh, I have to do all this work around the house, yard work." I'm like, "You don't do your own yard work, man. You're not relatable. You haven't done your own yard work in 20 years, man." He's like, "Oh, I gotta clean the house." No, dude, someone's doing that right now. You're paying.
Right now, like you're like sitting
When's the
back.
last time you saw your own lawnmower? Like, try to be relatable, dude. You're not cutting your own grass. I guarantee you that.
Fuck no. Fuck no. Goodell's not cutting his own grass, man. Like, for real though, he does need to upgrade from the goddamn M&Ms in the bucket. That shit was hilarious. I was like, yo, he's definitely like eating one or two of those at a time and popping one or two of them back in the bucket.
Dude.
No, congrats to you, Goodell. My thoughts on you. First off, cheers to all the essential workers out there. All y'all that are, being on the front lines. Greatly appreciate y'all. So cheers to that. Goodell, cheers to you, man, for accepting $0 salary. Like, because when you're rich and when you're getting money, it's so crazy to like, you know, to think like, yo, for a month, I'm gonna go. He's probably going for a month without millions worth of dollars worth of income. So
He's
just
getting
like,
$50 million a year, lifetime health care for his entire blood-related family, and I think a lifetime private jet. So he's doing well for himself, and it's like, yeah, I take get rid of my salary and I take those two. Like,
yeah, I mean, yeah, but like, still like the fact that. So let me just play this from a top-down approach. Let's take a very, very small business like Rumboyz. And for me to sit back as a business owner, I'm gonna be like, hey guys, like I'm gonna collect zero, right? I'm gonna collect zero. And we're just gonna, which means we're not investing into any new equipment. New merch designs, you guys could say fuck that. Like, like imagine like if I were to just be like just zero on everything, it would stop and it would stall and it would hurt. So I the way I see it as a leader of my guys and as my team, I admire it because I aspire to be on that level, to be on that pedestal one day, to be able to say, hey fellas, yo, we just touched 5 M's this year. I'm taking the month off, and we're taking all the money that I've made at the top, and I'm funneling it right back down to everybody. And that's special. That's special. That's beautiful.
yeah, for sure.
To really think about, and to you guys, you're not gonna get it because to everyone out there, first off, not everyone out there is a fucking business owner, so they're not gonna think of it like that. Second off, I'm not a millionaire, but for me to open up and think of it as if I was a millionaire, and for me to sit back and think is like coming from someone that one day I could have $1 million, 2 billion, 2 million, 4 million, 5 million. To think like, one day that day is gonna be there, and like one day I could have that option and think about that and be like, yo, for a whole month I'm about to sit back here and not collect like $500,000. Like that's fucking crazy, Like that's insane. So I mean,
I aspire to be able to do that for my people. I know that we all boo the commish, but fuck, from one leader to another leader, I have nothing but
And
respect.
in the last year and a half, I could say almost 100% of fans of all three sports would say the best commissioner has been Goodell. Because Silva had the whole China thing, which was really
Guys,
bad
man,
for
you
him.
fucked that up.
He
Yeah, you
showed for
fucked
yeah
that
he
up.
showed for China and buried Daniel Murray for
Very,
on his,
very Daryl Morrow for
which is
not good.
terrible, terrible. And that's kind of like ruined it for me. Where it's like, dude, you bent the knee to China, which is the worst thing. Who didn't
Hey,
even let John Boyega be in Star Wars because he was black. Like you literally took the dude out of Star Wars because of his race, and you supported a company and country that did that by saying, "Oh no, we support China and all their doings."
bro.
And then you have Goodell saying, "Oh yeah, I'm against the players. I'm supporting these guys right now. These owners got to get their way. You got the deal done." Then you say, "Oh, my salary's given up. Media saving right there. I'm not the dude that took money from the players. I'm the guy that gave up my salary to the league." He like won both battles there, right? In a way, where like you could say he screwed the players, but in the end, oh yeah, but look what I did here when I gave my salary up.
And Goodell gave up his salary in the off season. He's the only one in the off season that when this whole pandemic took place and initiated, he was the one that was in an off season. So like everyone else was still kind of like at the same, like generating money, like really.
Yep.
Like the NFL motherfuckers was, I mean, like not general public, like those of us that work in the industry, yeah, we're paying attention. So yeah, we're making money off of draft grades, draft guides, startup dynasties, and all this other stuff that we're doing, from just the football standpoint. Whereas these other leagues, MD, you bring up a very fascinating point over there on Sportscaster. Like he took zero. I'm gonna go down to zero during the off season, which we ain't got asses in the seats. Like that's baller. That's baller. Like there's no income coming in for him, pretty much.
Yeah.
Like what
Well,
does
he
he have?
also,
What does
I
he have
think
right
he
now?
sees this. Well, I'm sure he has his various law firms as a lawyer that he's
Yeah,
running behind the scenes. I'm sure he's making very good money behind all this. I wouldn't be surprised if he's making double what he makes from the NFL behind the scenes. So, it looks great for him. I'm sure he has a lot of money coming in behind it. But
yeah,
he's
yeah.
great with the media, and that's what you have to be. You have to be good with the owners, get that deal done, win the debate with the players, and then you do this, and you hope your brand, personal.
You have to have some type of passive income. Passive income has to come somehow. Like
Oh, yeah, yeah.
that's the
That
only way
dude's
to become
lifestyle
a
is crazy.
millionaire.
He has to make something
Yeah,
outside of
like the
football.
only way to become a millionaire is having passive income from X entity. You know, and once again, I mean, and those are just levels of business that you gotta applaud, that you gotta appraise. Like, I never sat back and I always look at the people that are, I don't want to say like doing better or whatever. I look at everyone's
Have
story.
advanced their careers
Yes,
earlier
people
than
that
you
have
did. Let's say it
elevated,
that way. Yeah.
yeah, like I always look at people that have elevated themselves and whether how they got it, whether it's mommy and daddy gave it to them, whether they got out the mud, like I'm getting out the mud. I always look at it and I never hate. I just have that admiration where it's like, all right, so that's how you did it. All right, so that's how you worked that plan. All right, this is something that I may have to work out in my business plans when we get bigger, when we are touching M's, and I'm gonna have to be like, all right, I need to implement this for you guys. I I respect it. Just from a leadership standpoint, you know,
Oh
because
yeah, I know he's been great for the league this year.
yeah,
In
I
the
mean,
last 18 months, he
yeah, leaders have the ability to make any fucking decision they want. But leaders that make the right decision now understand the fact that it impacts the people around them.
yeah.
So props to you, Goodell, for using your salary, to take care of everybody else. So I'm pretty sure that's exactly why you did it. Honestly, Brett Favre
had officially stated, I cannot remember what segment it was from ESPN, and I want to give credit to my source, but I can't at the moment. I know it's ESPN.com though. Brett Favre states he feels Aaron Rodgers finishes his career elsewhere. Thoughts? This is following the
1,000,000% true. No doubt he retires losing his job to Love. Zero chance. That dude has an ego. There's no way he's walking away saying, "Oh well, I'm 39 years old. Got beat for the job. It's time."
not
Brett
even.
Favre did it. I think he wants to be the Brett Favre that goes not to a division rival, but somewhere and beats them.
So wait, he doesn't even pull an Emmett Smith esque style type of thing where he comes back to be a Cowboy. Or, yeah, because Emmett Smith he had left the Arizona and he came back to be a Cowboy.
I mean, I would say that this is almost a negative for Rodgers. I would say he's the most petty athlete I've ever seen when it comes to just personal stuff with the media, to the point where nobody can. He's so I mean, am I wrong?
No, you're not wrong.
Like, he won't talk to his brother because of a bad comment on The Bachelor or Bachelorette, whatever it is. I don't know how they name that show. He won't. He doesn't talk to his family about Christmas gifts. He won't accept a Christmas gift from his family. He refused to speak to them because they made him mad one time. Like, if you just anger him, I feel like he'll drop away and be like, "I'm done with you." As long as I take care of my family or my initial friend group, which is his family. I think his real family now is his former Packers, right?
Yeah.
Like he's bigger friends. Like, he takes AJ Hawk and all his former teammates to the Derby, not his current teammates. He kind of has this group of people that like him. So I feel like Rodgers would be like, "Yeah, I'm not a Packer. These guys are my teammates." I mean, I would say the most.
MD says that no, MJ was the most petty athlete of all time. He kept on saying Thomas off the dream team because he didn't shake his hand. We haven't gotten to the last dance. Yeah.
There's more. I mean, I'm sure.
About sport, like other sports. That is my favorite.
Other sports, maybe, yeah.
That's my favorite thing in social media.
Yeah, I'm not so sure he's the most petty athlete. He came around in like the modern constant coverage era of what you did on the court. So I'm sure there were guys in the 70s who were much worse than MJ. But even classic boxing, imagine what Ali was saying in the ring to those guys as he was winning. Like, there's some petty athletes that were not on camera doing it.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Ali was pretty fucking petty.
Yeah, which is not a bad thing. But yeah, Rodgers, like, I feel like he'll leave and be like, "Oh yeah, I played for the Packers. We had fun there." And he'll just be like, "What? Did you see it though?"
All right. So I feel like if there's any time for Aaron Rodgers to call Tom Brady for a piece of advice, it's right now. But here's why I'm saying this. Hey, Tom, you've been fucking with the internet from an NFL standpoint for a long time now. How can I troll all of these people on social media? Like, if I'm Aaron Rodgers, I'm fucking with everyone on social media right now. I'm building my brand, like, and I'm getting endorsements. Like, I'm about to be like, "Yo, we're about to go somewhere else. We're about to go play somewhere else." Like, if I'm Aaron Rodgers, I'm about to go to LA. And I'm about to push.
He's from there, man. Yeah.
I'm about to push Herbert to the side. I'm about to be like, "Hey, listen, big boy. Let me show you what's really good. Let me show you what's really good." Because I look, that bad man, Aaron Rodgers, I have always fucking respected. And I have respected him even more when he eliminated my Redskins with weak ass Kirk Cousins on for the goddamn wild card round.
Or when he beat the Cowboys with that miracle throw rolling out left, and you're just like, deep down, please complete this. Oh, 53-yard field goal? Thank you, Crosby. Call your dad up. "Hey, what happened to the Cowboys game? I thought you were going to win that game. That Prescott was your guy."
I've seen this guy win and win and win again. But do you know what has always pissed me off? You are winning in a Packers jersey. And it seems like for some reason with that jersey and that franchise can get wins. They can get wins. they can get postseason wins. How often for a franchise that historic and that legendary and that great for them to not be at the pedestal of getting ring after ring after ring after ring after ring, it's completely astonishing. You good?
Oh yeah,
He said, "Oh yeah."
lighting adjust. It's got dark,
No,
so
you're good. You're good. But I
it's also
mean,
practically snowing, so which is great.
oh shit. But I mean, I want to see this man go somewhere else. Go somewhere else. Do something great. Go put asses in seats somewhere. Who the fuck really wants to like when he said on the McAfee show that he wants to finish as a Packer? I thought to myself, who really wants to fucking finish in a cold ass place like fucking Wisconsin?
He also said when like, oh, where will you settle down at like after football? He's like, I might own property in Green Bay someday. Like not even committing long term. Like you own a nice little cabin there to fish, and rent out. You will never stay in that cabin.
Bro, Brett Favre invested a lot in that city.
Oh, he is. Yeah, he is the Packers. He loves it there. But he also grew up fly fishing from Mississippi. So I mean, that's a different outlook on life. I think.
Like exactly. I just Aaron, I'll enjoy life. You got Danica, bro. You got fucking Danica Patrick. You think she wants to fucking live in the goddamn cold, bro?
I mean, she did, right? She ran Indy track forever, so she was. But yeah, Aaron doesn't seem like the guy that would. I mean, even his current teammates, he's not close to. I think
No.
his best friend in the NFL was a Cowboy last year, right?
I
Randall
think
Cobb.
yeah.
Yeah, it's his best friend, and they. I mean, he probably smiled more in that game, like in a 10-second conversation, than you ever see with his own teammates.
They got rid of Jimmy Graham. Every time Aaron Rodgers has something that he likes in Green Bay, he doesn't get it. They haven't drafted a fucking skill position since what? Fucking 15 years?
It's sad to see. He went from having Nelson, Jennings, well, and Findlay. Findlay retired for neck issues, right? But he was retired by it, a tight end. But those other two left, and you never draft anybody else besides Randall Cobb.
MB says Matt LaFleur will be fined before Jordan Love takes over, or will be fired. Will be fired. I'm sorry, fired.
I think there's permission there where he's like, yeah, this is going to be bad. We're going to fight through it and give you a chance to them. I think there was an agreement here.
So what the pickup of Jordan Love tells me is that was something that I think that it was a combination of before was brought in on it. I think the brass brought before in, they were like, hey, listen, what was your first off, what was your end of season review with Rodgers? Like how did that work? And I know they started off very rocky about the whole we're not gonna call audibles at the line.
Bad in the red zone. Yeah.
There you go.
They made Kitchens look decent in red zone play calling, which is ugly.
Very batty. Fucking but LaFleur and Rodgers kind of they didn't publicly have as much, push, back and forth as him and McCarthy, but you could see it. You could see it at some points and at certain points. And I think the organization is like, yo, if he's not willing to just like back off his fucking ego as the quarterback and let you do your thing, then you gotta go because you're the problem. Because we've brought in two fucking guys for you, and you still do nothing but bitch, moan, and complain.
Yeah. Rodgers is one of those guys. I understand why people say he's a bad teammate because he's very demanding, but I think having a coach that's younger than him is a big problem because he's on the field, and you say a quarterback's a coach in the field because the coach can't do it. And if you had a guy with the coach's brain and skill, that could physically play quarterback, you would do it, right? Well, he has a coach's brain and plays quarterback with a younger coach. Who do you think is going to win out these arguments right now? That's a hard part for LaFleur, and he's like, oh, I'll get my own guy in there. I'll force him out if I have to. So
I I feel bad for Rodgers because like yeah, you're right. You know, you're listening to this guy that maybe you feel doesn't have the experience that you have. You're right. Rodgers reads the field and plays the game, you know, at the highest level. He reads the game as if he was coaching the game.
yeah,
Um, sucks for Rodgers. Rodgers, I hope that you find happiness elsewhere, but I don't think that it's going to be there.
I see him playing maybe another 2 years in Green Bay. The second year being where it falls apart, and he's at that point 38, 39, and he
Yeah, it'll be
gets
6
out.
seasons. Yeah, it'll be exactly 2 seasons. He will leave in exactly 2 seasons.
Yeah, it won't be good. It will not turn out well for him. I don't like either side. I think Aaron Rodgers should probably leave sooner than later. I don't see his game aging either in the defense of the Packers.
Oh, and we
So
agree. LaFleur has no claim to fame exactly, other than knowing McVay.
yeah, I think LaFleur can be a good coach. The thing is, as I think he needs to find his identity, and I don't think it's with Rodgers. I don't see any way he can say that this is his team until Rodgers leaves, which is a problem for him. And that, I mean, he could be a McDaniels and just fail early and never get another shot if this goes bad for him.
Were the Packers the biggest losers of the draft?
Next topic. Is that a nice little segue we're doing?
Yeah, actually. Yeah.
All right.
Like, we were the biggest winners, biggest
Okay.
losers of the draft.
Okay, the two biggest losers. We can do this one quick. Raiders, because apparently you need a million skill positions to be decently successful. I don't know. And the Packers. Those are my two. Pretty quick. I'm going your Redskins, because you took Chase Young and you took a pick that has a chance to compete. And if he fails, you can't say it's because they were loaded at that position. Every spot you took was needed. And the Browns had the easy pick where they needed their spots, and they just took guys above value that fell. I think the Redskins did well in moving and really getting guys they need, and they could potentially play. And Dolphins, man. I get Tua as a risk, but if Tua fails, you have spots that you fill that can help another quarterback if Tua is completely broken down. I don't care if Tua is a bust, honestly. He's a risk. I think he'll be successful, but if he's not, in the end, you filled spots, I think, with quality players that another quarterback can thrive in. So you filled your team out while getting a project quarterback due to his health issues.
Yeah, we gotta look at what's tangible, what's real, what's in front of us. I mean, you know, like trying to stress ourselves out predicting like injuries with two and shit. So I feel that. I feel that. So yeah, no, I definitely have the Packers as huge losers during this draft. Me and Jordan Love, we debated back and forth about the Seattle Seahawks. And the reason why I felt like they were probably the biggest was because it didn't feel like they were really in the draft. It didn't feel like they really gave a fuck about the draft, to be honest.
Yeah.
I mean,
Cap issue could be screwed as well. I'm not really sure about that
there's,
stat
yeah,
specifically, but maybe they couldn't even afford to take on draft picks at this point, and they had to get out of it.
again, I think that they just kind of coasted their way through the process. Like I said, just weren't really giving a fuck. Like Pete Carroll, first round, didn't even know what he was doing or how to work anything. So I say Seattle and the Packers, obviously. I mean, just that Jordan Love pick, not getting any skill positions throughout like fucking 5 rounds. Just so bad. You are right though. With the Raiders, Arnett was a goddamn reach. At corner that they, especially with the corners that were on the board at the time they made that reach. So I didn't like that.
And then you take 3 skill positions in a row. What are you doing? And I love Lynn Bowden. He played actually here. He had 57 touchdowns his senior year, and he had over 3,000 yards rushing and receiving in like 9 games. The dude put up like 8 touchdowns a game in the playoffs, and one game he had like 11. But come on. You're drafting him as a running back where you have Jacobs and you have 2 receivers, and he is a mixed receiver running back. Where are you going to give these guys playing time? And Bowden's not a slot either. You can't throw him there. So you have two receivers you drafted basically,
Which
with
means
a
they're
hybrid running back
gonna
receiver, and you have
absolutely
a
cut
running
good
back.
talent. They're gonna fuck up and cut good talent or fresh talent, but they don't need to cut it.
You're pulling a Cleveland Browns by getting a bunch of receivers and getting rid of your line. Literally, what you're doing.
Speaking of the Browns, you
Good
guys,
draft, by the way, for the Browns. You just fill needs. It helps when you just don't reach and get needs. But
you guys have not drafted a top receiver coming out of the draft in 15 years. The first fucking receiver that you pay is Rashard Higgins. The first one that you take care of that you had, like
yeah,
Rashard
they see
Higgins,
something in him.
they
I
do.
Here's the thing with him. He's a slot. He ran a 4.6. He's slower on the break. He's definitely a short route, find the hole, pick up speed guy. Um, I think it makes sense for this offense if you're going to have him do that and run the ball a lot because you can give Baker the RPO with him.
Yep.
Other than that, he's not an outside guy and he won't be. So I would trust you have a use for him and you're going to play him because he has discipline issues as well. He dropped a ball a few times in practice and refused to do the jugs machine, which as a receiver, what can you do that as a receiver? If you said to your coach in high school, no, I don't want to do it. What would your coach do?
My coach would be like, "That's a fucking $1,000 machine. I just fucking told you a bitch ass to get
Exactly.
on it." Like
Yeah.
Coach Black had no problem with like cursing at you. Like I've had a clipboard thrown at me plenty of times.
Yeah. Kitchens, I get it. Discipline issues. Probably one of the worst coaches I've ever seen in my life. To leading players, said he had to tell these players after do the jugs machine, and Njoku's like, "Do I have to?" And Higgins is like, "I don't want to," and he had to have a dude film their discipline for dropping balls in practice. It's like, what receiver does that? You just do it during practice, not sit there pouting. Like Higgins has that issue. There's a reason he's Hollywood Higgins, by the way. He does have a.
Higgins.
That's his name, yeah, out of college. So they paid him. They have a plan, I hope. Yeah, I loved him 2 years ago, but I think Baker gave him a good chance to succeed by throwing the ball a lot in short routes. It's I trust Stefanski. He's gonna run the ball a lot. So
I just got auto drafted, by the way. Fucking Baker Mayfield in the league, so I need him to do something.
I think he'll get more touchdowns. But the Browns were 19th in rushing attempts and up in passing. I think they're going to reverse because Stefanski ran the ball 19th most in the league last year. So I think the Browns might be like 20-21 in passing. So you have to bank on touchdowns for Baker, which with all quarterbacks. If the first guy's open, you have OBJ, Baker will do well. If you can't scheme OBJ open, well, you should get fired as a coach.
You should get fired as a coach.
Which the Browns do a lot, so I'm iffy on the Browns again. So
it's a dog eat dog world. The dogs, the Browns, the dog pound. Definitely got a lot of fucking issues that they're gonna figure out. So that's gonna be interesting. But I think you guys.
I think we killed the draft. By the way, we took guys that are relatively in a spot where they can fail and say we failed because they weren't good enough. We took guys we needed to take to compete for jobs.
You're a Browns fan. You're supposed to say that. You know, I'm a Redskins fan.
We needed safety, corner, linebacker, and line.
What impressed me most? Really quick.
We drafted a tight end for some reason, which I don't love as much, but whatever. Apparently, he's a talent.
I love the tight end that we got, undrafted, rookie, free agent, Thaddeus Moss. I am so happy to have someone from the Moss gene pool on our team. I hope he's not. I hope he comes out and balls. Like I've never
speak Dontrell Hilliard's name here. The dude skips 3 times when he catches a return and then runs straight forward. He does not. He's the most indecisive guy ever.
Thaddeus Moss is gonna be a beast for us, bro.
I'm so glad he got picked up, man. I was like, this dude has to get drafted.
I think he's going to be the starter for my Skins. I think that is going to be the starter for my Skins. Like, fuck Jeremy Sprinkle. I'm not a fan of Sprinkle.
Do not drink the Kool-Aid, GM. I didn't last year. I don't this year. I have to see the coaching staff put together.
No, never drink the Browns Kool-Aid again. Last year I got caught up.
It's like the Redskins. Don't do it. Wait till they win. Just wait it
No,
out.
no,
Wait till they
fuck my
win.
Skins. Fuck my Skins right now. Like, all right, so I'm gonna be honest.
But Chubb, draft Chubb. Everyone else, avoid.
All right, I'm gonna be honest. Like the odds, Han Solo always says, "Don't tell me the odds," but sometimes the odds aren't always in your favor. If you could have a fantasy championship or your real life football team go to a Super Bowl, which one are you taking? Most people don't get both. Anyone that says they get both all the time, you're probably a Patriots fan.
Yeah.
Like,
I finished 3 years in a row, man. Second. And I didn't care that much. It was cool. Got money back. I'd rather go to Super Bowl and see some games.
MD says he'd rather a fantasy championship, saying that as a 49ers fan.
Oh, you said get there. You didn't say win. Come on. But
No,
I take a Super Bowl.
No, your team win. Would you rather you win a fantasy
Browns win,
championship
dude. Come
or
on.
your
No
team
debate.
win a fantasy championship, or your team win a championship, or you win a fantasy championship? You can only pick one.
Oh, 1,000,000% Browns win the Super Bowl. 1,000,000%.
Bro,
I mean, no.
if the Redskins won a Super Bowl, give me that all goddamn day. My wife probably
There is not even a debate to
forever.
me. Yeah, it's one of those guaranteed. Yeah, I
Bro,
cannot even like. Oh, cool! I won. We're in a league where we each put in like $100. I get 500, or I get 800, and the other person gets 2. Great. Oh, they won the Super Bowl. Oh wait, the team that can't win a Super Bowl after Jim Brown or a title. They were titles, not Super Bowls, sadly. But they still won. They still won them, by the way. Those are still championships in the '60s. I don't care what anyone says; they count. But we have not won a title since '67, I believe. So yeah, I take a title any second, man. Give me a Super Bowl any
I
second.
already came. I've came away with fantasy championships. I am not that selfish of a person. Like I love my friends. I could give 2 fucks if you guys know if I won or not. Like you guys see my successes on a daily basis. So like, at that point, like me winning the fantasy championship is nothing to me. Like the Redskins getting a fantasy championship, oh god, I would, I would lose my. I would take because here's the thing, I'm gonna have money on my team in the big game.
Oh yeah.
So fuck the money for fantasy football. Like the money that I have my real life team in a big game like that of these Super Bowl will supersede any fucking pool that I'm in for fantasy
Oh
football.
man, I could tell you where I was when the Cavs won to this day, and it's one of the. I was just sitting in my college apartment, like on the ground for like 3 hours.
GM
On my back.
his Niners win. He'd rather his Niners go to the Super Bowl than him get a fucking Super Bowl.
So
Just
when the
as
Cavs
Niners-
won that game 7, by the way, it was superstition for me. I didn't believe it. So I was like, they won. That's great. And I was sitting on the like a couch floor area. I was like, well, I was sitting here for so long. I don't know if it's true. I had to sleep on the floor. There's no way this is true.
Your franchise had at least 5 Super Bowl wins. You feel different, but I mean, I'm hearing from real Niners fans, like real Niners fans over on YouTube. They're like, nah, fuck that. Give me the trophy case.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing, from a fantasy football standpoint, especially as a fantasy football analyst, one, I'm gonna be invited to mad fucking leagues anyways. I'm gonna end up winning one out of the massive amounts of fucking leagues that I'm in. So it's not the same. Me as one person competing in in this maximized amount of odds. Competing against I may compete against a couple other fantasy analysts, and then we'll have our fans league, and then we're gonna have our office league. Then I'm gonna play against my friends here in Colorado Springs. I got my friends back in Virginia. I'm playing
Yeah,
it.
for sure.
Like by the time I get done, I'm in fucking 15 to 20 leagues. Last year I was in 10 leagues. This year I'm probably anticipating being between 15 to 20 leagues. One, I'm probably not following. I'm only going to follow up on all the leagues that are. I'm one person. I'm only going to follow up on all the leagues that are most important to me. halfway throughout the season, I'm gonna drill them down. I'm gonna figure out which ones are the most important, which ones that have the best record, which ones have the best opportunity to go get a championship. I'm gonna focus on those. You know. Oh my gosh, I would give up all my fantasy championships for another Super Bowl win. Says Justin, clock management, fantasy football, representing the Niners.
For another, wait a minute.
I want to see
You
my
didn't
quote
win
when
last year,
The Niners
or
win. Oh my god!
the question is, when do you go full Mike Vrabel and give it all up?
Dude, no one's gonna go full my Vrabel.
But yeah, I remember the Cavs won their title in Game 7. I literally sat down, like I was sitting on the floor, like this close to the TV, like nervous the whole entire game, and I was just like, so the Cavs won. Cleveland broke the streak right there. I'm not sure though. I have to sleep here to find out. I had a college class like in 5 hours the next morning, so I slept on the floor on a pillow because I'm like, this isn't true. I have to sleep on the floor and be right here and watch the game. There's no way this actually happened. And I look up, I was like, it happened, and I'm really
It happened.
but it's fine because the Cavs won. I don't care. I have a physics test in 30 minutes, and I don't care anymore. Like the Cavs just won a championship.
Dude,
So yeah, I mean, I would just say like I'm not nervous during a fantasy run. Like I'm like whatever. If I lose, I lose.
exactly. Yeah,
It's
fantasy,
money.
like I'm gambling at that point. GMM says I definitely get the same gratification when I'm able to help people win their own fantasy championships from my advice. So if I can get back and my 49ers win the Super Bowl, life is good. Exactly. As a fantasy analyst, I'm helping a lot of different other people win fantasy championships. So I don't have to have that same gratification of like me winning one because I helped someone win one. So if the Redskins could just win one, oh, it eases my heart. And shout out for the 200 tickets, which is like which is the popcorn on a sportscaster. I don't know hi. Thank you, MD's Fantasy Football over on Sportscaster. Make sure you guys check out MD's Fantasy Football, the Belly Up Network. I've been showing them a lot of love over on Twitter. I retweet a lot of their stuff, so if I retweet it, you can't beat it. So go ahead and retweet it. Cheers to me, cheers to you all. Rumboyz, what it do? Ellie. You're on quarantine radio. So I mean, I guess that pretty much breaks down like our biggest winners and losers of the draft. We just tossed in that random topic of what would you rather win.
You're talking to a Browns fan. This answer is clear, and a Redskins fan, as for that matter. I take a playoff run over a fantasy championship at this point. Just give me.
Oh, bro, let me just win one. Let me just advance one round in the fucking. Bro, if the Redskins ever get one round into the playoffs, I'm fucking. Oh my! I don't know what I would do. I don't. Oh, I don't even. I can't even think of what I would do. Like, what would I do in that scenario? What do I have to do in that scenario?
You would have to Stone Cold Steve Austin live stream greenskin everywhere around. Just go.
Bro, like
And
I
have
would.
your son toss the bruise as well.
Bro, my son has a fucking cannon. It's a bet.
And get the perfect spin though. The perfect spin so it spins once and gets enough fizz in there before you open
Yeah.
it. They both explode like this.
You gotta get like 3 spins. You gotta get 3 spins. You gotta get enough fucking like
Yeah.
this to really stone cold that beer. Like, because when you crack them, that's the like the fourth, and then that fizz comes. You
You
know.
kill the carbonation so you can just take down them real quick. You got to get the carbonation right out. Yeah.
Last topic of the night, ladies and gentlemen, the last dance. Which make sure you guys check out the last dance. So first off, before we even get into episode 3 and 4's reactions, Jake. All right. So you know how we work in the fucking sports industry, right?
Yeah. If we want to call it industry right now, we can't. Sadly, it's
Well, this is one of those perks of working in the sports industry. One of my boys, has a very close rep in the sports film industry. Okay. Um, I am able to view the rest of The Last Dance. Should I or should I not view it?
I mean, go ahead, man. Who cares? It's not cut. Might as well
It-
watch it as soon as you can.
yeah, I have it all like fucking uncut, like everything. The shit that they'll eventually release on like the DVD box set
Right.
that everyone's
Yeah.
gonna get, like I'm able to see all of it in advance. Like I feel so bad. Like I'm not gonna do it. I'm trying to watch it
It's
as you
fine,
guys
man.
watch it.
At this point, it's going like to the point where it's like branching out and it's showing how big of a character Rodman really was, which I
Oh,
love.
dude.
Just going to the reaction side of it, like
Yeah.
if Rodman did that today, I don't know how he could stay in the league.
Bro, here's the thing. What if The Last Dance doesn't teach you anything? It teaches you that being a fucking celebrity back in the 90s was so much better than this shit right now. Like, now it's like, fuck this person with 200 likes and with fucking couple million follows. Like, cool, you ran to that person at the bar. Imagine running into fucking Michael Jordan at the blackjack table, bro. Imagine running into Dennis Rodman and Carmen Electra while you're in some fucking nightclub in Vegas doing your own thing at your own moment, at your own time, and then these two pop up. In the 90s? In the 90s? Bro, there's no cell phones, so no one can fucking be like, Instagram.
Okay, yeah. This, but it makes me feel one thing. Jordan isn't the most entertaining guy in life besides his basketball career, right? Imagine having a documentary, uncut, no charges can catch on you. Mike Tyson. What happened during his run? Exactly every detail with Fat Joe and Big Pun.
Dude,
Like every detail of their nightclub adventures. I want to know. Would you not pay $10 for that?
bro,
Right now, $10 for like a 20 stream series.
One of the fucking Mariano guys, one of the fucking guys from God damn it. You know, my stepdad used to fucking run with them cats, man.
Just think,
Fucking
dude, I want to see everything they did, every stop they made in the '90s when Mike Tyson was close with
Bro,
Fat
I'm
Joe.
like, I gotta figure it out. I gotta talk to my stepdad and be like, hey, yo, like, what are we allowed to talk about and what are we not allowed to talk about on my show? I want to bring you on my show and like, I just want to talk. Like, we're gonna change it. We're gonna take it completely away from sports. Like, we're still gonna tie it into sports because you knew a lot of athletes back in the day.
Yeah.
But like, bro, like, I want to know, because like during that whole era, like, there was so much so organic. Like, what people aren't realizing about The Last Dance, there's so much organic shit happening during that era. And the true principle of 6 degrees of separation really existed during that time frame. You
And
got
athletes were more visible then too because they were. If you're recognizable, you're not planned to be somewhere, so people aren't expecting it. So they'll freak out more when they see you.
bro, exactly. People weren't expecting to see you. Mobs, when you show up at the mall, mobs were like a fucking thing then. Like you would get mobbed while you're at the mall. Like you're just trying to fucking go buy a fucking chain. And like you got 30, 40, 50 people around you. Like being a celebrity back in the 90s was two totally completely different things here in the 2000s. Like the level of fame that I can achieve as a rum boy will never compare to the level of fame that guys back in the 90s were achieving. And I'm going to drop examples. Michael Jordan, Dennis Rodman, that whole fucking Bulls 97 team. Michael Jackson was really popping back then. Prince was still, doing his thing. God damn, who else was really popping during the 90s? No, Carmen Electra, she was popping during the 90s. J-Lo was popping during the 90s, and she was on King Griffin Jr., Mark McGuire. Fuck. I'm drawing blanks. Deion Sanders. Deion.
Okay, well, we could probably start this here, and he's probably one of the worst artists ever. Look what the '90s did to Aaron Carter.
Yeah, Aaron Carter, Nick Carter, Instinct, fucking Backstreet Boys. Like being a celebrity.
Oh, yeah, Nick Carter's stuff's coming out now, and it's not good. Like,
Yeah.
He's been accused for people. It's like, really? I'm not surprised by this, but it took this long for people to admit that you were a 18-year-old superstar idiot. Like, I
Bro,
assumed you weren't, but it's fine.
the 90s were so much colder, bro. Like the 90s, honestly, especially for the young cats out there, when y'all see them social media posts about like how y'all 2000 kids can't fuck with us 90s kids, that's really real. And The Last Dance is bringing back a lot of the memories that I had as a kid that I grew up watching. Bro, I even watched that documentary the other night on Netflix, Waco. You seen that shit?
I'm not. I'm actually watching one thing though. You should. The Last Slap, Nipsey Hussle.
Okay, bet. I'm gonna check out that Nipsey for sure, for sure, for sure, bro. Yo, check
Part
out
4
Waco.
released today.
Yo, check out Waco. Did you know that our own country broke the Geneva Convention on our own soil?
I think I might have heard that. I never believed it.
Bro,
Actually,
the whole Waco thing, really quick, like it was supposed to be like, well, what we were taught in history books was that it was a mass suicide. It was a cult mass suicide.
yeah.
Well, I just found out. This is the second time that I
The
found out.
bodies were tested for poison
No, the body. No,
or whatever.
the footage got leaked. The footage finally and shit and everything got leaked. Them motherfuckers CS gassed them out of the goddamn. They were trying to get them to flood the building after like a 57-day standoff, like a damn near 60-day standoff. Go to get mommy to charge it. Thank you. After like a 57-day standoff, they had CS gassed them. CS gas is you can't do that. Like so for everyone that knows, like I've been through a gas chamber, being prior military, they give you that shit in basic training so that your body adapts to it and that you know what it's like. And that shit fucking sucks. And you're in there for like 30 seconds. These motherfuckers were in there for like minutes. Like what was probably minutes in real life was probably like fucking felt like hours to them. Because what felt like 30 seconds to me felt like goddamn like 30 minutes to me, you know? So I mean, bro, it was crazy. You gotta check out that Waco joint. Like, and like the fact that our country tried to hide that shit, like, nah, man, they all killed themselves. They all set themselves on fire. Word, bro. So they just set a whole fucking building on fire for no reason. Like that shit was wild. I suggested I'm gonna check out The Last Slap for sure, for sure.
Hey man, I watched Hunting Hitler every episode and almost believed it. So I'm a
Bro.
borderline conspiracy guy. Yeah, with Tim Kennedy, former UFC fighter. So
Dude, I'm in a fucking here's the thing, I'm in a conspiracy, I'm in a conspiracy that actually fucking makes sense.
yeah, well they know most people who were at the top of that group of people who were doing awful things to the Jewish people. I'm not saying the name because YouTube.
Yeah.
But were escaped to Argentina and lived a great life. There's no proof Hitler did, but they all used fake names and were tracked back. They're assuming Hitler followed later because there's pictures of somebody who looks like him as an older version of him with a full beard, like
Yeah.
and they're like, there's no way he would let everyone else escape and sacrifice himself with his ego.
Yeah,
There has to
you
be something. Like,
you have to send me that shit.
oh, it's on History Channel right now, and if it's cleared by the FTC, should be good. It's on History Channel app if you have Roku, which I'm pretty sure you do.
Yeah, yo, I got the
Yeah,
rope.
I mean, I watched all of it many times, and I'm like, yeah, dude, I kind of believe this, but I don't, because it would have been so obvious, and I'm sure they would have tracked him.
History Channel posts so much shit where it's like, all right, well, you fucked up.
I want to believe this, but I can't. Like,
Bro, History Channel did the same thing with the whole Waco thing. History Channel did a documentary on the Waco thing. And like I watched like the series on Netflix, I'm like, oh shit.
I still watch Oak Island, man. They're gonna find the treasure. I still watch it.
They ain't gonna find that fucking treasure, bro.
I watch it every time. They will.
Very well. Oh,
They're getting money from this channel to pay them to look for it, man. But they're
not
gonna
from
find
this
it.
one. Oh my gosh. Ladies and gentlemen. So what's coming up with this? What you think? You are you digging the Last Dance? Like this shit is just fire though.
It's interesting, dude. And I knew this stuff about Jordan and his lifestyle. It's fun to
Yeah,
see the real characters on the side and how big of a character Phil Jackson really was. Because people thought he got crazy in L.A. No, that dude was always crazy.
oh, dude.
Jackson always had his weird personal issues going on in his life.
Jackson was ready for LA. Like as soon as they were like, as soon as they're like, as soon as Jackson said, "Yeah,
Phil
I'm
Jackson took a motorcycle in the winter of Chicago to the stadium. It
yeah,"
was crazy. So
when he was like,
instantly
"Yeah,
crazy.
I'm
What is
big
that? I was
into,
like, this dude has a problem. Good
when
for
he's
him.
like, I'm
It
big
worked.
into like the Native American, like tribal, historical, shit like that." That's when I was like, "Yeah, you're gonna coach in LA." That I was like, "This is
Well,
where
when I
you,
saw he had a motorcycle in Chicago, it was like, you got a new level, dude.
yeah."
You don't really do that in Chicago.
Rodman
Feel like
pounding
he
a
wants a
Miller,
year.
Rodman pounding a Miller Lite and then hopping on a fucking Harley. You could not do that in today's society. Like they'd be like, "Yeah, you need to take an Uber."
Ooh, I could take a new shot there. I'm not doing that. I was gonna say something rude about somebody who almost died in a wreck who was drafted early in the draft. Who tried?
Oh fuck, let's. Hey, hey, Taylor.
Yeah.
Oh, good vibes.
I should just say it.
Crossing the dark line there.
Really? I can't take Jay Williams shots.
Chambers is alright. Like,
I mean, Jay Williams tried it. You know, just didn't work out for him.
it did not work out for him. Fuck
Or
no.
Yao Ming, for that matter. Both lost their foot.
I did not know Yao Ming lost a foot.
No, he didn't. He's pretty close, but he can't really do anything with his life, athletic,
Yeah.
because he broke his foot like a million times. Because okay, Leafs D, is this proven? Let's not do this in our comment section.
What are you saying?
Doug Collins is gay. I don't think so.
Yeah, we never know these days. Rodman is on some shit. He's fucking messaging what's that rapper's
I
name?
mean, Rodman married himself, which is questionable. You know.
Yeah, Rodman married himself. Yo, you know how conceited you have to be?
Or
Motherfucker, I don't even love myself
you're on a
enough to
different type of juice, man. At that point, you're on a new level of juice that we've not experienced. That
Bro.
90s stuff was a different level.
Yo, 90s and 90s.
Rodman was probably borderline schizophrenic on the court, and that's why he was so nuts.
Honestly, I think that Rodman might have a person. So we always talk about
I
mental health.
would
Like, I think
mental illness diagnosing, but that dude is a different level of human. That's all I
He's a
have to say.
different
As Pat
level of
Mack would say,
human.
he's a different human.
like who can dye their hair that much, change up their piercings that much, fuck the women that he fucked. Like when Carmen Electra approaches you, how do you even have a straight conversation with her? Like both Carmen Electra and Madonna both have stated they've had genuine conversations with Dennis.
Probably he doesn't probably think about it as he doesn't think they're anyone famous. He's like, oh, this person. I spoke to them before. I don't know who they are.
Fuck that. You put
I feel like he's so out of it. He doesn't know who's famous, and people who are famous think they know.
Like a virgin touched for the very first time. Like, yo, you give me fucking Madonna and Carmen Electra from 97 in the same mother. God damn it. Ah!
This series is going to show how nuts Rodman is. It's very clear. This is very targeted to Rodman. I feel like it's going that way. It's like Jordan's angry old man. But he was
How
younger
angry
at
was
the time.
Jordan? How angry was Jordan going in to get Rodman after the 48-hour Vegas trip? And Jordan's like, yo, what the
This
fuck?
dude can stop me. Get him on my team. Because I know how to deal with him.
And then Jordan walks in and Carmen Electra's in the bed with fucking Dennis Rodman. Like, if I'm Jordan, I'm like, wait, you just pulled that? You were there all night.
J-Lo. Hey, J-Lo. J-Lo, you in New York? I'm here for a weekend.
If I'm Jordan, I'm walking in. Hey, listen, you're going to continue your business. I'll handle tonight's game, brother. We out of here. Like I'm like fucking. Like I'm all good. My teammates smashing Carmen Electra. Like this is why you know I would
Well,
not.
you probably saw it. Is like, you're this age, you're buying 63. Put up 63 for you guys.
Fuck. Damn good series. If you guys haven't checked out The Last Dance, you should do it.
And I feel like it's the peak of what ESPN 30 for 30 can be, even though it's not. It's super long and drawn out in ways, but this might rival. I get it's longer, but my favorite production might be the U, but for 30 for 30 by far. With all those guys, this is probably a close second. And I don't love ESPN stuff because it's kind of like, you know, it's one of those that takes it away from sports too much for me. Even though I guess Stephen A. was right about Donald Cerrone. You see that? That interview with Errol Hirani?
Yeah.
Not good. He shouldn't have said anything. I don't know why he did that.
Wait, hold on.
He made Stephen A. sound right, and I don't love that.
How right?
Okay, what did you hear in your mind, or like, kind of like translate to like what he meant when he said, yeah, Donald walked in, not Cowboy. It's like, when do you know that you weren't really in this fight to like, you know, go for it and win this fight? When we were not involved, it's like 2 days before I knew I was just kind of walking in to do my thing, you know, walk out of there, whatever happens. It's like, well, you knew 2 days ahead of time you weren't into the fight. Like, I feel like you quit 2 days before a fight, and I don't love this. And it's one of those things where it's like,
He pretty much did that, and we knew that, and we saw it in his performance.
Stephen A. was wrong by saying once he got hit, he gave up. No, he gave up 2 days before, and you made a non-MMA guy the most guy in journalism because he quit before you guys thought he quit. He quit before he thought he quit.
It was so
when
visible.
You guys say he didn't quit at all, he quit 2 days before you thought he quit.
It was just so visible, and that's the thing.
And I was like, well, you saw that $12 million payday and probably like, cool, pay for my kid's college, I'm done. But it did bother me, and I was like, dude, if you're going to say that, you shouldn't have gone on the show, because this looks bad for every person who defended you. Because you confirmed everything Stephen A. said, and more by saying, oh yeah, 2 days before the fight, I knew, I just didn't care. Well, you're honest to a fault, because now everyone has to apologize to the most right person in journalism, which Stephen A. isn't a journalist anymore. I can't say it anymore. He's a first take, hot take.
He's a first take analyst.
He buries the Bengals for being a trash losing organization. It's like, dude, they made the playoffs more than your Giants recently. Like, and I was like, you made him right. Please don't make him right. By the way, speaking of sports coverage, before we head out of here, how about the mass exodus of potential ESPN personalities? Will Kane is leaving for Fox News again. He's doing his attorney thing again. Levitar's having issues with management. Stephen A. left ESPN already on their radio side of things, doing his independent thing. They've lost their they're going to lose their 3 biggest hosts probably in the next 6 months.
So here's the thing: everyone's figuring out this independent dollar because all the independent people figured out the independent dollar. So now they want the dollar. So honestly, I'm gonna send out kind of like a warning. All y'all stepping down and trying to step into our world, be careful. We've been doing this. You may have the software, you may have the tech, you may have all the fancy mics, all this bullshit.
Yep.
Look out. We've been doing this. And the real in this industry will eat you alive trying to do what we've already done. Don't try and replicate.
Please, Steve.
Don't try and replicate.
I want to correct him here. He did not leave ESPN. He left the radio. He's doing his own radio. He's on First Take.
Yeah.
He did not leave ESPN First Take. But his journalism and podcast is separate now.
Yeah, people are trying to.
They would never let him leave First Take. Ever.
People are trying to designate certain things. Like the McAfee and Hawk show are on YouTube. They are not on XM.
Or DAZN anymore because they're not FTC.
Or DAZN.
Guaranteed they dropped them. Like, there's no way they. I'm not subscribed anymore because there's no fights, but There's no way they're on the zone anymore. I'd be shocked.
I don't think they're on this one anymore. I think they dropped that. I think that XM is letting them get away with certain things, and XM is covering some of their violations, and they're like, "Hey, drop a few, f bombs here and there, say this, say that."
Once you started going loose and kind of unleashed Pat McAfee, you went from like 3,000 to like 9,000 viewers on YouTube.
Oh,
I looked at the
dude,
metrics. I was like, dude,
average
if you
double
get
digits.
9,000 live viewers, let them do what they want. I don't care. They don't care anymore. They'll pay whatever they have to.
Yeah. So I mean, that just shows you where the industry is going. So no, I'm happy that you brought this topic up. That shows you guys where the industry is going. That shows you guys that are listening, what we gotta do. We gotta keep pushing the envelope. We gotta keep keeping people entertained and engaged with our content. Keep spreading the word. We're 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 having fun and we're talking sports and we're dropping our takes, we're dropping our opinions. We're doing us. We get close to stories.
Yeah.
We drop stats. We do everything that you expect of us. And I promise when the fantasy season is getting really deep and really rolling, we're really going to dive into that shit and really be that ism for you guys, as GMM likes to say.
Yeah.
I want to shout the Clock Manager Fantasy Football Network. Or Fantasy Football. So shout out the Clock Manager Fantasy Football. I want to shout the GMM Network. I want to shout out our whole staff, Rumboyz.com. Like definitely Rumboyz.com. Head to Rumboyz.com. Check out every single one of the writers. We have a new piece that just dropped today. AFC South draft grades. We got the AFC North, I believe, coming soon. We got NFC draft grades coming soon. All the guys are putting in crazy overtime over there. Yeah, check me out over on the GMM Network. I literally tell my story from beginning to end, front to back. Jake, you did a really good episode over there. That was fucking awesome. I
It was
loved
fun,
it.
man. It was fun. We're doing it again probably
really
soon.
fun.
We just started, man. Once we were off air, we had an extra hour of conversation. So
That's how I like for it to flow. I like for you
I
guys
just
to
kept.
know each other.
GM can comment, man. We have more to talk about on that. So
But I mean, we'll be back. Rumboyz After Dark. We have Mock All Night 2.0 Saturday night here on this channel, here on this network. Check out all my colleagues, honestly. Subscribe to all my colleagues. You can go to the channel section on YouTube. You can click that mug, hit that drop down, and you can just 1, 2, 3 subscribe to all of them back to back to back to back to back. It's super easy. Damn, Jake, talk to him, man. I feel like I got so much going on. I want to tell the people about it, but like,
man, we
do
have
an announcement video or some shit.
we're gonna have some fight news coming up. Wilder Fury 3, not the biggest fight anymore, is probably on schedule now. Also, 3 cards in the UFC, only 1 announced. There's some secret level of knowledge that only Dana has on this, but we know we have 1 card coming up, and it's obviously the title fight with Henry Cejudo, Dominic Cruz coming back from almost 3-year layoff, 4-year layoff now. Obviously, we have the main event that can ruin Khabib Tony. So that's going to be watched, maybe hate watched in a way too. It is pay-per-view as well, so it's probably going to sell because it's a fight. And an underrated one too. Waterson and Esparza are probably fighting for the number 1 contender spot at 115. So, I mean, I get it. It's an undercard fight. It's a stacked card. So people aren't going to care about it as much, but that's going to be a contender fight. And let's think about it. Pettis and Cerrone are aging. I get it. Cerrone's taken more mileage damage and gotten beaten up recently, especially bad in the last 2 fights.
Motherfuckers old.
36 years old, but 37, yeah. Man, this is a retirement fight. I don't think Dana wants these guys taking more damage. So you might never see these guys again. So, again, undercard fights. Very entertaining. Must see TV right now. I'll let Robbie get back here, but any questions about the fight cards?
Keep going, Jake.
All right, all right. But yeah, I mean, this is a huge card. A lot of big names that are older that are probably not going to be seen again in the UFC, and a lot of undercard fights that you would never expect. Overall, May 9th, following Wednesday, and the following Saturday are going to be 3 days of fights, 36 fights in 7 days. So they'll get all the cards they can in until they're shut down, and it's a big deal.
Oh yeah. Other than that, God damn it. I hate my laptop. It keeps fucking trying to reload this fucking Windows 10 update.
Well, my fan's going off, so if there's air going off, it's my fan because
Or mine.
it's about to explode. I feel like.
But other than that, though, we do love and appreciate you guys. And we really appreciate you all. Make sure you guys catch us out. Catch up with us. Friday, Rumboyz at the Dark. Saturday, we have Mock all night.
Hey,
All
new
night.
year, man. Elton John. The
Huh?
Elton John.
Ooh.
New year.
Holy shit. We have an Elton John in here. We've heard your music and you play piano like a beast. And then
He's saying Elton John. We would love a sponsor.
the shit. Hey, make sure you guys subscribe to this channel if you are new. If you haven't already, we greatly appreciate all of you, all the real shit, all the love and support that comes in through this door. All of you that choose to walk across that plank and step aboard this pirate ship. Goddamn, we appreciate you. Make sure you subscribe. You subscribe. Like, just set them vibes. We appreciate you guys. Subscribe to the channel, like, comment, all that good shit. We are out of here. Cheers to me. Cheers to you. Hold on. Let me pour up one. Hold on. Cheers to me. Cheers to you. All the Rumboyz and girls, what it do?
Dilly dilly.
Dilly dilly.